Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second season of The Village You Don't See. Today, we're talking to Maya French. Maya is a serial entrepreneur focused on food and bev space. Maya actually has been associated with brands like Koya, Joy Day, and Mezcal. Her focus is really around food security, also helping underserved founders to kind of find their footing in this space, this entrepreneurship space. Maya, I just want to say thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, so before we go any further, we got to get to know you. We just
Mhm.
met. We don't really know each other. I've read about you, but I want the audience to know about you. So I'm going to ask a couple of few questions. Okay, so where are you from?
Yeah, I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay,
Yep.
Chi-Town, Chi-Town.
Chi-Town. I
All
love
right.
it.
And
And
you're
I
based,
live in
where are you
LA.
based? Yeah, I live in LA.
Yep.
Okay.
hmm
The city that sleeps sometimes. New York doesn't sleep, right? I'm just joking.
Yeah, LA definitely sleeps all day.
So we have this, the next question is we say single, married, engaged. We always,
Oh, single. It sounds so bad when you're in a relationship.
no, it doesn't matter. Hey, she's single. Okay, single. Okay. The other thing we like to talk about is Facebook or Instagram. Are you a Facebook poster or you an Instagram poster? What kind of person are you? Or
I
both?
think I'm an omni-platform person because I love to engage my family and friends from high
Okay.
school, and I don't think I'm too good to talk to them. You everything's like
Okay.
I love to see what people are
Okay.
up to, and I love Instagram for its own reason. So,
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. In terms of video calls, WhatsApp or FaceTime?
ooh, I think you know what FaceTime because
Okay.
WhatsApp's quality sometimes is not there.
It's sketchy. Okay. I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the other one, beach location or ski location? Where do you want to be?
Beach location, just
Okay.
because Sonny, he died ski accident, and I've skied, but
Yeah.
it's super scary
Yeah.
and it's very risky, so
Okay.
not gonna do
Okay. Sunset in the
it.
water. Okay. Favorite food?
Oh man, it used to be corn, but now I'm allergic to it.
Oh,
So
wow.
I now have to say sushi. I can eat
Sushi,
sushi every
okay,
day.
okay.
Yeah,
Hey, sushi. LA got some good sushi places. They
it
do,
really
they
does.
do. All right. Are you a pets person or no pets?
Oh, I really love animals, but I'm allergic to them all, so I don't have any
Okay,
pets.
no pets. Okay, awesome. So,
hmm
Meyer, now that we've gotten to know you briefly, I know it's not enough. We'll probably take a couple of days to really, really get to know you. But why become an entrepreneur? Why didn't you just decide to go work for somebody all your life? Be a lifer. Why? What drove you to that?
Yeah, I feel like it's always something like everyone's different, right? Some people
Yeah,
are meant to who some people work well underneath people
yeah.
and some people work well and with their own ideas and like they're very creative. And I feel like I'm that person that's like my own ideas, very creative. I've always been super curious and like learning outside of the curriculum. So
Okay.
it was like when the opportunity came, I was ready for it.
Okay. So, would you say, have you ever had a 9 to 5 job?
9 to 5. I've been working since I was 15 years old,
Okay.
right? And so
Okay.
I've had jobs working in small family-owned restaurants
Okay.
to retail, and yeah, so that's never corporate job, but
Yeah.
that would be like my service industry. Is my
That
experience.
has been, so you've been in service, food, retail. Would you
Mhm.
say, knowing that, hey, you've been the kind of person to be like, the thinker, the thought leader to, outside the curriculum, what drives that? What part of you, how do you tap into that? I know that's the kind of person you wanted to be. Because I know there's some people out there, but they're like, I just want to do this, on Fridays and that's it. But how do you tap into that? What drives that?
Yeah, I think that if you are the type of person that's like, oh, I just want to do it on Fridays, that means you're not that curious about
Yeah.
the subject and the thing that you want. So I think what really drives it is like curiosity and purpose. And
Okay.
it's like constantly looking for the answer. That's what's really the driving force.
Constantly looking for the answer. That's awesome. Now, I'll tell you, sometimes you look in this space, right, of D2C, new food and bev. I feel like they're just companies over companies over companies coming out every day, right?
Right.
And talking to you on this Black History Month time as a minority founder, investor, this space is not a level playing field, right? We know that as a minority founder, you also have things that are challenging. How do you persevere through some of that?
You know what? This is the thing. You have to let your work speak for itself. You have to be so good that they can't ignore it. They can't deny it. Because as a minority, as a woman, you have everything going against you. So everyone's looking for an excuse to turn you down.
Yeah.
So I think, keep your head down and be twice as good, better than everyone else, and like extremely focused on the craft, and let the work speak for itself.
So one of the other things, everybody, I feel like sometimes we're in a clickbait society where everything looks good from the outside. I work for a startup too, and it's not all good every day. And I think society promotes like, hey, everything's awesome. Start your own business tomorrow, right? It feels like that. We just launched here. Look at my product with Whole Foods, with this, with that. We just wrote our first POs. Give me just a little snapshot of what being an entrepreneur is, especially starting a business.
Yes.
Give the people the real. Like between 60 in percentages, what are those days are like great? What are those days are like heads down, tears?
Oh man, okay. You can't, as an entrepreneur, you can never really, sit down and like celebrate your wins. It's almost like you have to be boisterous, but the purpose of being boisterous is to garner more attention to the brand and to solve your problems, right?
Yeah.
Because every day there's a problem. Sure. Whether it's you need money, you constantly need money. That's the biggest problem, I think. Unless you're like really, really killing it. No matter what, that's the biggest. It's like the biggest dark cloud above your head. Growth, cash flow. So thinking about that, you can never really sit in your wins because you're always just, trying to achieve that big, big goal.
Cannot celebrate your wins. No time to celebrate your wins. So knowing all that and what you have done, what is your support system like? Who are the people you call when things are not going right? Who are the people you lean on? And how's it built? I mean, you don't have to tell me everybody and call names. How's yours? And if you want to call names, shout out to them. Let's go.
This is an award ceremony. And shout out to God first and foremost.
Amen.
Amen. But yeah, I think like my support system, it's different, right? You have a professional support system and you have a personal support system. And, sometimes people in your personal lives can't really give you professional advice. So professionally, you have hopefully, this isn't the case for everyone, but hopefully you have investors that you can call on who are almost like your advisors, who are resourceful. That's a support system. Hopefully you have advisors around the table, like people you look up to and trust, who you can go to for specific problems. And then, personally, it's like, who is your significant other, your family, your friends, when you're feeling stressed and like emotionally down about yourself. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Make sure you have a professional and a personal. And sometimes you might find a good person that can serve both sides, to your point. But sometimes you have sometimes your family like, man, I don't know nothing about retail margins, but I'm here. Just come pour it down for me, But that's awesome. That's awesome. So you're passionate about food security, right? Access to nutritional food, also reducing food waste, right? I mean, things like upcycling and all that kind of stuff is trending real big now. Right?
Yeah.
What are some things we as individuals can do to help this? I would say yes, to help this, because I think there's a high level accessibility that has to be done. Maybe it's by government subsidies and stuff. Because I mean, a can of apples is cheaper than a fresh apple, right?
Exactly.
And but what are some of the things you're looking at and say we can do, we can donate to, we can, how do we activate this from a household by household level?
Yeah, and I think what that is like, what is the first step change to like betterment of society and like how our relationship with food? And I think it really does boil down to our communities, our separate communities' relationship with food. And personally, like in the Black community, we make fun of healthy food. Like we see the people who are very health forward as like the hippies, the ones who
Bohemians.
are very spiritual. Yeah, exactly. The bohemians, or oh, maybe she's bougie and she eats the poo-poo food. So we're not trained. We're not accepting publicly, and I think the narrative is changing now a bit more that chronic diseases are becoming more prominent in our communities. But I think as a whole, we need to change the conversation and really understand the ways in which we can eat healthy at an affordable price, because there are solutions.
Yes. So folks, go out there, change some things in your diet, make some good selections. There's some access out there to what it is, just that, sometimes people don't like Brussels sprouts and they might be on sale, but it's better for you. But you're right. I read an article about the Super Bowl. I mean, I thought it was a crazy fact. 140,000 pounds of food would be left over after the Super Bowl. 140,000 pounds of food. And that, I think the Food Recovery Network will be working on getting that to people as fast as possible. So just think about that. And I'm just thinking about what happens if there was no network and someone to take that food. But sometimes we say 140,000 for Super Bowl is a lot. But if you add up what we waste individual households in just a state a week, I'm sure we'll blow that number out, So,
you're so right.
I just feel like, what are some of the things as we individuals that we can do to just stop waste in our home, especially from a waste perspective? Do you have any,
I'm going to say something very broad level, but it'll make so much sense. And I think that, Americans as a whole, I think we face two problems with food. And it's like, we don't know what to eat and we don't know how to eat. And when I say we don't know how to eat, we eat too much at a time. We buy and we make it all, and we don't like leftovers. We don't
like leftovers. Unless it's turkey after Thanksgiving, then we can do something with it.
Or we eat it all at once, and then we're overeating, and it's like there's so many issues with how to eat, and so that creates a lot of waste.
Yeah. Huh. Well said. Well said. So, Maya, we're going to pivot to what you're working on and what you're working on right now and what the future is. So kind of give us an idea of what's going on with you.
Yeah, definitely. So I exited my first company, Koya, which is a plant-based protein. It's very well known, and I'm very proud of it. I did that in 2021, and I've just been in a very interesting learning stage of my life. Where I've been, started a company that was backed by Pepsi, which is like very fast-paced, very like amazing, but basically snacks for people living with diabetes earlier this year. And I've been, helping out underserved founders really get their product from like ideation to commercialization. Some very small projects, which have been amazing. And throughout every experience, I've learned so much about like snacks and just outside of like beverage. And now I'm not going to mention exactly what, but I've have something launching in the summer, which is really exciting.
Awesome.
Which is it's a fun project, yes.
Okay.
But I'm also like actively studying, like my whole life thesis is around food security and like food accessibility. And I really feel like the things that we're doing, like everyone talks about it, but nobody really knows how to solve it
Yeah.
because capitalism is real. Like
Yeah.
we need to make money, and so if you're so focused on like making money, and you're sacrificing so much that's actually like
Yeah.
important for the long term vision of the world, right? So it's like what I'm really trying to solve is like what can I create that is accessible, that gives back to the communities, maybe
Yeah.
even creates like circular economies within underserved
So.
communities, but also makes money. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Hey, it's
It's
a circle. It's a circle. He has to generate income. You know, it makes
yes.
sense.
So I am relentless in figuring out that answer, and no matter what, how many projects and things I launch and start, which will all be for the betterment of the world and follow within, the same buckets and umbrellas. But that is the
Yeah.
problem I am trying to
What's
solve.
up? Man, congrats. Maybe we can have you back in the summer when it launches
Yeah,
and maybe do a review of what it is. Maybe it's a product, maybe it's a service, I don't know. But definitely would love to have you back to talk about that. So a couple of things before we hit the last thing is what do you do for fun? How do you detox? With all this stress, all this work, what does Maya do? Where does she go? What does she listen to? I mean, what is your day like with, maybe that's a better question.
man, days are never the same. But
Time, yeah.
you know what? I my detox is being creative. So like I think also in sweating, of course. So the changing the state is like going for a walk or
Yeah.
working out for 30 minutes and really
Yeah.
pumping iron. I know I don't,
Yeah.
I'm small, I don't really pump iron.
Hey, it's okay, it's okay. You can flex. It's all right.
But I think other things are being around art, going to art museums, like learning, networking. Like people give me so much energy, and like learning from like-minded people, or even people who are not like-minded. So those are things that like bring me joy and energy and like recharge and reset.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. So, Maya, before you leave, and this was a fire chat kind of conversation, getting to know you, talking about how you can. We're going to play this game. It's two truths and a lie. And it's about me. And you have to tell me which one you think is a lie. Okay? So, are you ready?
Fair enough.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Drum roll, please. All right, number one. I'm Nigerian and I'm born and raised.
Okay.
Number two. I played college football.
Okay.
Hey, flexing. Okay.
Flexing.
Yeah.
Like three of
Number
mine.
three. I had a song that was number one on a chart. On a chart? Yeah.
This is really, really hard. I think that you are Nigerian. Okay. I'm going to go with that way. Because if I'm looking at the odds of the other two, I'm like, oh my God, come on. It's a lot.
Okay.
So I'm going to narrow it down between those two. I'm going to go really, really obscure. I'm not going to go with the obvious. I think the obvious is that you were a football player, but I don't think that that's true. I think you probably had number one song on a chart. So I'm going to say that the football is a lie.
What football we talking about?
Oh, wait. You're not...
That's the trick.
Oh, man. Because American football, you would have to be beefier, but you're not very lean guy. You're like, you just showed me your muscles. So I'm going to say it's a lie.
It was actually American football because we're in America. In Nigeria, we call it football too. Okay,
no
and
way.
actually, you won this thing, and yes, I played soccer in college. I didn't play football, so you were right. And I did have a number one song on the chart, but it was in Nigeria in a city called Jos. on a local radio station. So I
That's
didn't say
cool.
billboard and stuff. So that's actually cool that you realize that. So I want to give you props.
Thank you, thank you.
And hey, Maya, thank you for coming on the show, The Village You Don't See, and we will continue to follow you. And I know we'll continue to chat via LinkedIn. Hey, when you launch and you're ready to come back, let's bring some products and talk about them and you showcase them. I know our audience is not killing it, but we'll get there one of these days. And, as you said, perseverance, then we stay focused. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day. Okay?
You too. Thank you so much.
Deuces. Have a good one.